Ignorant Bliss, quick hit. Y'all be prepared. There's spoilers in this. I'm talking all about the movie. So if you don't want to know nothing, you should probably just quit right now. So, um, another film I saw is The Trip to Spain, directed by Michael Winterbottom, starring Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon. Basically, it's fictionalized versions of themselves. This is the third one of the movie slash TV show series because it's a movie for the rest of us, but in like the UK, they get like a show. You know what I'm saying? They get like episodes of this. So the film is basically an edited down version of what the show is. The trip was basically a story where Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon traveled um, like northern England and like did basically a review of the cuisine for I think the Observer and showed them, colleagues and such, talking about their lives with each other as they go on this road trip and, basically becoming closer friends and that and as they reach certain parts of their lives if they're like in basically middle age. The second one, which was the trip to Italy, which is my favorite. They go to Italy. They kind of do the same thing. Steve Coogan is kind of blowing up in like real life, so they kind of fold that into the character there. And they both have interesting things with their personal lives in terms of their their partners and their love life and what they want to do with their careers, while they also go around Italy and eat dope ass Italian food. So this one is much of the same. And this time they go to Spain and basically they just talk. They do crazy impressions. The main thing that's always spread around virally from these movies is them doing these amazing impressions of famous British people like Michael Caine in the first one, Sean Connery in the second one. This one they do really amazing impressions of David Bowie, Mick Jagger, and Roger Moore, and they just be going. And yeah, they do basically a lot of talking about like being fathers, fame, acting, freaking back and forth jokes at each other's expense. You kind of, if you like that type of humor and almost a thing where it seems like fictionally real, it almost feels like it's improvised the entire time, and amazingly shot cinematography of like European settings, along with some of the best shot scenes of amazing European cuisine, like of the people cooking it and how the food looks. There's really not a lot to talk about the structure of the film. It works. I think also with it being another sequel, you come into it with a certain familiarity of these characters in this world by the time you get to the third one. But you can actually watch any of them and it doesn't really matter much because most of the time it's just them traveling, talking, trying to one up each other on these impressions and making people laugh. The one thing I do think is that if you can find a way to watch the show version, the show's better. You get a little bit more breathing room in regards to the characters and the story, and I guess there is arcs to the characters in the film or their journey from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. I love this movie. Um, I gave it 4 stars just because the writing is really good. The depths I feel of the two male leads are really good. But by now, I think I have a certain understanding of them because this is the third film. But I think you see a lot of vulnerability in these men as they reach middle age and dealing with the different places of point of fatherhood for them were brought up. It's kind of at the beginning of being a father, but he's older. Like they're both like they're both like 50, and that's interesting to see versus Steve Coogan's character, who has like an adult son in the movie. In real life, I think he has a daughter, but movie Steve Coogan has a son, and we get to this point where they're still dealing with this middle age thing and work and fame and being in Hollywood and being passed over for this and getting the acknowledgement it's really interesting to watch. And the comedy is just so strong. Like when I was seeing it, the laughs was constant in the theater. So this is a great film. Again, I think like I said in my Hitman's Bodyguard movie, yo, the world's going through it. Watch something like this. Ease your mind, laugh. It sucks as I reviewed this movie about the trip to Spain. Tragedy popped off in Spain. Uh, you know, Prayers go out to them. Things suck terribly, but this movie's really good. You should check it out. It's gonna make you mad hungry. It's gonna make you probably want to go to Spain and eat some dope ass food. So, ignorantbliss.com, ignorant-bliss.com is where you can check out my main podcast. This is on iTunes. That's on iTunes. Just search Ignorant Bliss, or I should basically just say Apple Podcast now. I like to be fancy. Twitter is IGBL Podcast. Ignorant Bliss Podcast. On Facebook, Ignorant Bliss Podcast at gmail.com. If you want to contact me, talk to the show, you can comment on this as well. I'm at Julian Lytle, LYTLE, on all social media. So, hope you enjoyed. Deuce.